Hi, welcome to ALC. I'm Irene. In this video, I'll be servicing a 2007 Toyota Corolla. The maintenance required light is on. So this tells us that it's time to service your car, as well as it's been like 3 months they serviced it last. So let's get to it. First off, we let the engine run for a while. I just drove this car back from the filling station and the market, so it's hot enough that allows the oil warm up so that it can flow smoothly when we're about to service it. So now we turn off the engine, open the bonnet. Open the bonnet. Put this bonnet stand and now get to work. Okay, but before I do this, I'm going to first of all lift up the sides, the tires. We lift up the handbrake, the screw jack, or should I say lift up with the screw jack. So when you've lifted up the car high enough, make sure you put your jack stand so I put the jack stand on both sides. I cannot go under a vehicle without my jack stands in place, and I'll also advise you not to. The screw jack is not strong enough. It could fail anytime. The car could roll and it could fall, and it's very harmful or dangerous to be underneath the car when you fall. So please always secure your car on jack stands before attempting to go under. If you don't have a dedicated mat, you could use your foot mats. You know, the two front foot mats are long enough. So to service your car, the things you need your oil receptacle or a collector like a bowl, your funnel to pour it into the car, ratchet, slacking rod or T-bar, oil filter wrench, socket. This is 14 and a 14 spanner, obviously your oil filter. So now I'm going under to get the job done. So just before I go under, I open the filler cap or the filler cover to allow the oil flow properly, you know, so there's no vacuum at the top, so the oil will flow out properly. We are underneath the car now. This is the oil filter. This is the oil sump, engine oil sump. This is the drain plug. We need a 14 millimeter socket to drain it. So that's it. I'm first of all going to drain the oil from the oil sump. I'm not in my camera stand here, so I'm going to have to go off the camera to slack it. So I've slacked it now. You make sure you position the oil pan, because when the oil comes out, it's going to splash, loosen. It's a long one. Ooh, it's pretty. So make sure you're ready to receive your oil. It's also advisable that your oil receptacle is clean, because there are instances that you might need to pour the oil back, probably to flush, or if you're having some difficulties, maybe the oil filter you got wasn't the right one. There was a time that I tried to service a car and the oil filter was the the plastic cover type, and it was stuck, so I couldn't service it at that point. We had to take it to a workshop, so they had to break it out, you know. So luckily the receptacle was clean, so we could pour the oil back. So watch it drain, let it drain completely. Readjust readjust the drain, because when the oil gets close it starts to drip funny. Yeah, so the oil from the oil sump has kind of stopped, has kind of finished. It's coming out in drops. We've waited like 5 minutes, so just clean the washer, clean the entrance, clean the socket as well thoroughly, and tighten with hand, and use the spanner to tighten. You know, don't tighten too much so it doesn't break. Tighten it properly and clean. Watch for leaks. Make sure you've tightened it, make sure it's closed. So now to the oil filter. This is the oil filter. This is the oil filter wrench. I'm not with my stand, so I'm going to have to go off camera to slacken this, and I'll get back on once it's slacked. Now, getting out the oil filter. It's not easy recording and doing this, but people gotta learn. When you've loosened it to a point, you can use your hand to finish off. Get the receptacle ready. It's already dripping oil. So probably I'll just let it drip for a bit before I loosen it completely. It's also windy here. It's blowing oil into my face, but no problem. It's as simple as this. Although it sounds simple, you know, but going under the car, lifting it up, doing all this in a confined state. But yeah, oof, I have oil on my phone. It's okay. So I think it's time. I have to get oil on my hand. Yeah. Drain the oil. Try to drain as much as possible. The oil filter is actually very hot, so also be careful. Be careful. It's very hot actually. I think it's done draining. So that's where the oil filter fits into. Oil filter. Make sure you get the specification for your car. This is the one for this car, the Corolla. So you get some oil, hand in oil, and grease the rubber seals. This allows it to seal up properly. You can pour some oil into the filter, just a little, so that when you start up the engine, it already has oil. It doesn't have to wait for the pump to pump in oil newly. This is just like a safety measure. Make sure you apply oil to the seal so that it will be easier to remove and easy to tighten. So now we put the oil filter back and we tighten. We spin clockwise to tighten. Keep spinning, keep spinning, keep spinning till we can't spin no more. Tighten as firm as possible with your hand. If your hand is oily, make sure you dry your hand and tighten it properly. Do not use the oil filter wrench to tighten it, if not you could damage the canister. So just tighten it securely with your dry hand. I dried and cleaned up my hand properly. Yeah, then clean up everywhere. Clean up all the oil. Great. So now we have tightened the drain plug and the new oil filter. It's time to pour the oil in. Now that we've secured the oil filter and tightened the drain bolt, We get the funnel, put it in place, get our oil. I'm pouring in, this car uses what's it called, I think 4.5 liters, so I'm pouring in 4 liters first of all.
To have a better understanding about the engine oil, what it is, its properties and functions, please see my video on the engine oil. And to know the right engine oil for your car, please see my video titled, What is the right engine oil for my car?
And now, do not pour the drained oil on the floor or in the gutter. Dispose of it properly. So now I'm returning it to the new empty container. So now drop the car from the jack stand, start the engine, gauge it, clean up as well. So now that we've dropped the car from the stand, we dropped the car from the jack stand, the car is on level ground now. We check the level, the oil level. Pull out your dipstick. Okay, now it's dirty, so let me clean it up and stick it back in. Like the oil has gauged, trying to get.
Even though the oil might look like it has gauged, you have to start the car, let it run for like 2 minutes, then turn it off and let the oil settle, bring out the dipstick, clean it up, stick it back in and bring it out to measure and see if it's gauged. If it hasn't gauged, pour some oil in. I won't advise you to pour in the whole 1 liter, pour like a quarter in and measure. So now for the last part, which is clearing the maintenance required lights, I would advise you to see my video on how to clear the maintenance required lights. I'll just do something quickly here for those of you that know how to, so you can remind yourself.
Clear trip B, then go to the main odo, hold it in, turn off the car, turn it to number 2. You can see it blinking. Off and on. Maintenance required light has come off.
Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to IOLOVES Cars on YouTube, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be informed whenever I post new videos. Follow us on other platforms as well. Thank you.